Good day, fellow book readers. This is the B-Side Book Reviews. And today, we are going to indulge ourselves in Harold Robbins' Goodbye, Jeanette. I just like to say that. Goodbye, Jeanette. I'm not real sure where I got this book. I think it came with the marriage. When I got married, I got a wife, 2 stepkids, a broken down Ford Festiva, and apparently this book. So, grab yourself a cup of coffee, and we shall take a look at Harold Robbins' Goodbye, Jeanette. I think I got this coffee cup in the marriage as well. Okay, a little bit of an afterthought here. As for the spoiler alert of this report on this book, I would say it would be kind of low considering, considering that there's not a whole lot of plot here in which to spoil. However, I will say that the rating on this book is a strong PG-13, if not an R. My mom would probably give it a XXX, but I won't go quite that far. However, this report I'm about to give is definitely a PG, parental guidance. So, just so you know. Our story opens during the closing days of World War II. Germany is pretty much finished, but this doesn't keep General von Brenner from taking his pick from a group of Polish women to be his secretary. So, I'm thinking this is going to be some captivating novel about the struggles that Germany went through during the end of World War II. Yes, the hardships, the politics, not exactly. Actually, it has to do more with the French fashion business and, oh yeah, sex. And lots of it. Yes, this all starts as the young Polish woman Tanya walks into the general's bedroom and starts taking dictation of a whole different manner. Shortly thereafter, the general bails for South America, as many Nazis did. He bails with his loving wife, of course. Apparently, though, Tanya must have taken and given some amazing dictation, because the general sets her up pretty well financially, as long as she marries his associate, German sympathizer, and resident Paris queen, Maurice. Okay. I think there was some kind of a plot here, but, with all the sex stuff going on in the first 2/3 of this book, plot development really wasn't on my mind. Yeah, some of the passages in this book would make even the most liberal of English professors lose focus. But I'll give it a shot, because I'm devoted. Okay, Maurice takes his new bride Tanya and her young daughter Jeanette to Paris, and the fun begins. Now, even though Maurice is known as the biggest queen in Paris, he does have some interest in his new bride other than her cooking skills. And our author leaves no detail a mystery when telling us that Maurice is loaded with one big thing, and it's not his personality. Now, as the happy newlyweds settle in, Maurice and his boyfriend try to consummate the marriage with his huge, not his personality. However, Tanya will have none of that. And armed with a razor or something sharp, don't really remember. Anyway, Maurice becomes her bitch. Yeah. Ain't love grand? Of course, the title of this book is Goodbye Janette, not Tanya. And it is Tanya's daughter, Janette, that takes front and center for most of our reading pleasure. Now, does that mean that the sex is over? Oh, heavens no! As a young, innocent teenage girl of the late 1950s, Janette can't control her sexuality and gets excited to the point of orgasm every time her stepfather slaps her. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that one out. Now, since Maurice can't have the mother, he goes for the daughter. And yes, he's still gay. And with his huge, not his personality, he damages young Janette to the point where she'll never be called Mama. Okay, now this doesn't affect Janette's mother's reproductivity though. And Tanya pumps out another daughter from some mystery guy that no one seems to know or really cares about. Tanya does care about Janette though, and her mama bear instinct flares as she tries to put an end to Maurice and his personality. However, her plans just don't work out. And unfortunately, Tanya becomes the one who gets whacked. But by who? Well, the book never says. But on with the sex. I mean plot. I said plot. Now, the rest of our story deals with Janette becoming a beautiful young woman with the help of some cosmetic surgical body enhancements. And she takes over her mom's fashion business. She's not having anything added, by the way. It's more on the order of having things removed. One has to remember that this was the time of the 1960s, the Twiggy era of fashion models, the time when skinny rocked. Then there's a lot of story stuff about the 60s, the Paris fashion biz. But with all of the sex stuff going on, Janette could have been Xena the Warrior Princess working at Walmart for all I cared. Oh yeah, and let's not forget about Tanya's other daughter, Lauren. Well, after Tanya's untimely murder, little Lauren is adopted by Tanya's business partner and caretaker, Jean. And Lauren moves off to Southern California, where she grows up in the innocence of the 1960s Southern California atmosphere. Yeah, this means she was basically stoned most of the time. Okay, for the Cliff Notes. Lauren returns to Paris, hangs out with big sister Janette, dabbles a little in the fashion world, marries some billionaire, divorces him after she discovers that, well, he has a thing for his manservant. She has a kid, and then she moves back to California. And doing this while smoking a ton of weed. Now, in the end, Jeanette ends up 40 years old, somewhat pissed off, and all alone. Excuse me, but what was the point of this story again? Now, with all the blatant sexual content of this novel, I found it to be highly disgusting, downright repulsive, and absolutely uncalled for. But was it entertaining? Oh my gosh, yes! Now, the parts where Jeanette got off when her stepdad Maurice slapped her, even when she was pushing 40, was a bit disturbing though. Yes! Do some women really react that way? And here I was, always just trying to charm them. No wonder I had no luck with women. Oh yeah, back to the book. Now, we never really found out who killed Tanya. And the evil Paris Queen stepfather, Maurice, with his big, not his personality, never really got what should have come to him. No. I wanted someone with an even bigger, not his personality, to assault him. Then again, he would have a probably just welcome such. Okay, probably the least enjoyable part of this book was the ending. It pretty much just ended. Flat. There was really no conclusion. I was anticipating this majestic, one last great orgy scene. No such luck. Hey, we went from World War II to the hippie 1960s in less than 400 pages. No one is complaining. I'm just looking for the movie. Is there a movie? I couldn't find one. Now, the easy reading aspect of this novel would depend on the person. Yeah, my mom's head would have probably exploded after just the first 30 pages. Fortunately, I have true grit and was able to bear through all the sexual content without a hitch. Yes, porn is so much easier to read when it's disguised in the name of literature. Now, our story did tend to jump around a bit in the last 100 pages, which confused the living heck out of me. And I did get a little disoriented in their massive sea of characters. Of course, all the fashion biz stuff left me a bit lost as well. Then again, I've been told anything regarding fashion leaves me a little lost. Anyway, one note worth mentioning though was that Maurice's generous manhood was always referred to as his phallus. Phallus. Now, when's the last time you used that word in a sentence? Phallus. Yeah, it's one of those strange words you don't hear much. But for some reason, there's no doubt in your mind what it's referring to. Yeah, sounds like a word Sheldon Cooper on The Big Bang Theory would use. Good gosh, there were tons of characters. I was completely dazed and confused with some of them. However, here's a good overlay. Pretty much everyone was oversexed, rich, and did lots of drugs. For the most part, they were all decent folks. Well, if you overlook all the drugs and sex. However, you can't help but want to bitch slap the heck out of Maurice. Not his personality and all. Telling you. Now, little sis Lauren seemed to be like a low-keyed, happy little teenager. Of course, when you're smoking highly potent pot every day like she was doing, one can't help but be low-keyed and happy. Now, poor Jeanette, though. Poor Jeanette. The Paris fashion guru. Well, she just never seemed to be happy regardless what happened. I do like the point, though, that even though she was on the verge of bankruptcy half the time, well, she still had a chauffeur-driven Rolls Royce. Now, I'm guessing the Rolls Royce probably had a lot of miles on it and crappy radio. I'm just guessing. Now, early in the book, she sliced herself down from her overly curvaceous Charo Gucci body to a junior high boy fashion model body. And apparently, she was still quite the looker. Well, regardless of her highly reduced cup size. However, poor Jeanette just never found the right guy. And on top of that, she had this really pushy lesbian girlfriend. She also seemed to have a difficulty getting through the day without a generous snort of the nose candy. Hey! Life isn't easy in the fashion world. Have we learned nothing from the bold and the beautiful? Well, goodbye, Jeanette. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Okay, so that was Goodbye Jeanette, written by Harold Robbins. Okay, interesting book. Did it keep my interest? Oh, good gosh, yes. Is it a book for everyone? Oh, good gosh, no. I don't really even know what the group is that reads these kind of books. Actually, I had this book at work, and one of my co-workers came walking by, and she saw this book, and she goes, "Oh, you're reading a Harold Robbins book." I was going, who, me? And she goes, "Yes, he writes books like, The Nature of 50 Shades of Grey." He did not write that one, but, yeah, you get the idea. So, I'm going to say, be fair warned when you read a book by Harold Robbins. Anyway, I'm going to tell you to read a book anyway. Maybe just not this one, unless you're into this stuff. Then read this one. Read Goodbye Jeanette. Read Hello Dolly. Read Charlotte's Web for all I care. Just go read a book.